Now, since your parents left 3 years before you left, you were like 3 or 4 years old. Do you recall them, like the last days that they were in Greece?
I think I recall the day that my parents were leaving. There was a taxi waiting outside to take them to the airport. And actually, a taxi that was going to take them to Athens to go to the airport. And my mom was crying and didn't want to leave.
Do you remember anything else? Any other recollections or what
My
people were
dad
saying?
was no. My dad was nervous, and when the taxi came, he wanted to leave. I'm sure it was difficult for my parents to say goodbye to us, knowing that they weren't sure when we would be reunited.
Hmm. Now, tell me a little bit more of life in Greece. I know you're very young, but do you have any recollections or other childhood memories from like school or maybe with your brother?
I attended school when I lived in Greece, the equivalent of kindergarten in first grade. I attended school in the small schoolhouse in my town. And as I said, it was about 15 students in the whole school. There were 4 students in, well, maybe more. Maybe there were 20 students. There were 4 students in first grade, and probably 4 students in second, 4 students in third. So, and maybe 3 or 4 in fourth. It went up to sixth grade. So, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there might have been, let's see, maybe about 25 students in the school altogether.
Mm-hmm. Now, throughout the whole time when from just like different like mini chunks of time within the time that you lived there, like when your parents left and when you left, do you recall any emotions that you felt, or did you have like anxiety? Did you have were you excited? Do you recall? What were your feelings? What were you feeling? What were your emotions when you were leaving or when your parents were leaving?
When my parents
Do
were
you
leaving
recall
and
your
leaving,
emotions?
no, I wasn't sure what was going on. I was 3.5 years old. I don't recall. Maybe I cried. I don't know. I don't remember.
And last question about this topic. What was the setup in the living situation in Greece when you lived there? Did you just stay with one set of grandparents with your brother, or?
I lived with my mother's parents in one town, and my brother lived with my father's mother in a different town, but they would visit often. And this arrangement was supposed to be best for the grandparents. Since they were older, they wouldn't be burdened by raising 2 very young children, and so they split up the duties between the 2 sets of grandparents.
Mm-hmm.